My mother had a dream of her daughter, Judy, down an embankment with her arms held out towards her. Mom was trying to reach down to Judy, but couldn't get her. Not too long after that, they found Judy. The day before Judy got missing, the group of us were over there at Chocolate Lake, swimming and carrying on. And then we went home from there, and the next day, Dad come home during lunch hour, and we were going out to the horse races. Judy had stayed back because she was possibly going to be going babysitting. So the three of us, Mom, Dad, and me, went out to the horse races. Dad made a few bets. Horse races got over, went back home. We got home there. The apartment door was apparently not locked. We entered the home. My sister was not there. My mom and dad thought that the babysitter had given her a call and wanted her to go babysit for them. So my father went to bed, and my mother and I sat up for a while. And around 2:30, 3 o'clock, my mother sent me over to the babysitters. I knocked at the door, and they told me, no, Judy did not come over there at all. So I went back home, I told my mother, and my mother phoned the police, and the police said, you gotta report it, wait 24 hours to report it. Within that week, first week of us notifying the police that she had not come home, there was an intercom incident there at the apartment building where buzzers were rang. And one was at the superintendent's, one was at this other lady and her husband, where Judy and I used to babysit for her. Our buzzer rang at our apartment. We were sitting down, we were having supper, and when we heard the intercom, and we heard help, help, help 3 times on that intercom, we got directly up. I ran towards the elevator, and I heard a scuffle on the 4th floor over my head. I went down to the lobby where Dad had told us that they're all to meet. We contacted the police. The police did not show up until the next day. After that, my mom and dad and I was staying at home and wondering when my sister was going to come back home, if she was okay or what was going on. My parents were going in and sort of like driving them a little bit crazy because Dad would see Judy possibly on the road there as he was driving cab, and it went on there for months. During the 3-month period before Judy was found, my mom had found a pair of pants at the back entrance of Keating Road, had turned them into the Halifax Regional Police Office. Also, a friend of ours had found a pair of sneakers, had handed them to my mother, and my mother had turned them into the police.
Judy Parks' remains were discovered on October the 9th, 1976, and they were discovered on the 103 highway, approximately a mile from the city. At the time, the highway was a two-lane highway. It's since changed now. It's a twinned highway going out in that area. And her body was discovered on what at that time would have been almost like a path through the woods. And she was discovered there with her body was partially covered.
After the remains were found, I come home from school. The police officers had rang the doorbell. They came up into the apartment and they asked me what time your parents be home. And I said, well, my mom be getting off the bus there around 5:30. Mom and Dad come home and the cops looked at my mother and my dad, showed them the watch and the key, and at that time my mom had fainted. So Dad says, yes, that is my daughter's. And then Mom came to and she says, yes, that's Judy's. Is she all right? They said, no, we got bad news to tell you.
Yeah, once the Judy's body was discovered and it was deemed a homicide, there were a number of detectives that were assigned to investigate it. From what I've read, and again, I wasn't working that investigation at the time, but it appeared to be a very thorough investigation. They interviewed many people. They did thorough canvasses of the area, followed up on all the tips that I saw come in at the time. And as far as I could see, it was a very thorough professional investigation.
I'm kind of an optimist, and I like to think that any case can be solved. Now, certain investigations can be quite difficult for a number of reasons. People, pass away over the years. Memories fade. But I think with this case and many other cases, someone out there has information. There's someone out there that can come forward and give us, potentially give us the information we need to advance this file and solve the case. So, that's the hope, that we can, kind of motivate someone to come forward and do the right thing and talk about what happened to Judy. It's 42 years have gone by. And I've had the opportunity over the last little while to speak to Judy's family, and I know the pain that this has caused and the amount of suffering that the family has gone through over the years. It would bring a great deal of satisfaction for me to be able to tell them, and I know after all these years it would be a big moment for the family and a very satisfying event for everybody.
I do think of Judy every day. There's night and day. I'm always thinking. I'm hoping, and I'm really hoping, that they catch this person. I want this person to answer the questions that my father gave me and told me to ask, and my mother, which my mother has no memory of anything. There's someone out there right now that knows something. It might be just the littlest thing, but speak to the cops. Give them a call. Tell them. Anything would help.